Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had a lovely week, and hello and hi, thank you to some of my new subscribers I see I got over the weekend, so thank you, appreciate that. As you can see, I'm doing sort of a simple living series, and I want to sort of just make some easy recipes for you, or easy options to live more slower, more simple, but have some delicious food on hand. So what are we doing today? I'm kind of thinking about my title here, and I'm thinking thrifting got pickled. Why? Because I was out thrifting, second-hand shop, and I found this beautiful jar. I love jars, and I love storing things in glass. So it's a really beautiful thrifting. Doesn't, you know, some things you buy and they have a smell. This doesn't have a smell, which is good. And I've washed it and I've cleansed it, so it's all good. It's got a good seal on it. So what do you think I'm going to do with it? I'm going to pickle onions. I thought it'd be beautiful with this outside edging and pickled onions in it. So I went down to the supermarket because I had to go, and I've got some red onions, and I'm going to pickle them, and it's such an easy recipe. So what I'll do is I'll get these ready. I'll get them sliced. I have one of these slicers for people in New Zealand, Warehouse, very cheap. It's good for slicing thinly. So I'll get my onions sliced. This one I noticed it's got this on the side of it. So what I normally do is, because these shells on the outside are a bit rough, I take that outer shell off and use the rest of the onion. Now I've got two here, but I do have others, so if this isn't enough, I'll do some more. But yeah, follow me as I make these pickled onions. I'm back. Now what I've done is I've sliced all the onion. That was the 2 full onions. I think that'll fill that jar nicely. And so the next step is to put the spices and the onions together. Okay, so the next step is to put the onions in here with the spices. So what it takes is 1 sprig of rosemary, which I've picked from my plant outside, and normally a stick of cinnamon, but I'm not big on a lot of cinnamon, so I've got half a stick here, but normally it's 1 stick, so I've got half. It smells divine. And a teaspoon of juniper berries, and I love my juniper berries, so I'll put just a couple more, few extra ones in there. Now at this point you can add other spices or herbs if you like, so a little bit of chili, you want it a bit hotter or something like that, dry rosemary, but I just like it pretty basic. So with the cinnamon stick and the sprig of rosemary and the juniper berries, and then this is where we put the onions in there. They're all nicely sliced, very finely sliced. And I may even, I've got an extra jar here, a little jar in case I end up making some extra, because I've got a feeling I might just have some space. So we'll see how we go. You want it pretty full. So that's probably about right. So about that full. Doesn't it look beautiful? Wait till the colour comes off it. So I've got some left over, so I went out and got another little sprig of rosemary, because I've only got a tiny little jar here, and I don't want it to be too strong. Got a little bit of the cinnamon stick left, and I'll put some juniper berries in here. And we can do the second jar. It's so easy, and it's a lovely condiment for any type of salad, any kind of meal that you make. It's lovely with cheese and crackers. I use it a lot with different salads. I might actually take that little, see, sometimes it doesn't cut properly and you'll get a thick bit like that. Don't put it in. Okay, so we've got 2 jars out of that 2 onions. See how far it goes. I mean, really, that was just 2 onions. Right, the next stage is, and it's always equal parts. So I'm going to do a cup of water, a cup of plain vinegar, some sugar, and some salt. So a cup of water, and I'm just using plain white vinegar. I don't like a lot of vinegar, so I'm very light-handed with it. About 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And with sugar, I'm not into sweet. So with this particular one, because I've got 2 jars, so I put a cup in there, a cup of that. So maybe a quarter cup of sugar, or just under a 1/4 cup of sugar, about that much. All right, and you just put that in the vinegar and water mix. You take it to the stove, you bring it to a slow boil. You don't want it to over boil, and then I'll show you the rest. All right, so we're just slowly heating the mixture up. It's got the vinegar, water, salt and sugar. Now, a lot of you probably prefer different sort of flavour, so you may want more vinegar, less water. You may want more salt. Same with sugar. The purpose of heating it up is really to dissolve the salt and sugar. When it starts to dissolve, this is the time to just dip your finger in. Have a taste. Yes, it just needs a little bit more sugar. So what I would probably give it is, again, I'm a rustic cook, so I'll probably just give it a teaspoon of sugar. So yeah, it probably did need the 1/4 cup. That'll be about right. Because you don't want to take away the pickling flavour of it all. So 1 cup of vinegar, and you can use any vinegar except malt vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is really nice. So 1 cup of vinegar, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. You don't want it too salty. And that's starting to dissolve now. So when that's come to heat it up and dissolve to a decent temperature, I'll show you the next step. Okay, that's come to a light boil now. So you don't want to over boil it. It's got little bubbles coming up. That's all you need, as long as it's dissolved. You don't want to do anything more to it. It doesn't need a lot of attention. It doesn't need over boiling. So you can just see the steam now rising off with some little baby bubbles in it. Alright, so we turn that off. And you pour it into something that makes it easy pouring for yourself. Okay, here we go. So all you do is, I've just got to be careful with this jug actually. It's not the best jug. It does spill a little bit. These brims are not good. So I've got a little bit left over actually. You let that cool and sit for 30 minutes. Okay, so you can now, I'm just putting a little bit more on each time I see the solution, the liquid going down a little bit. You leave it sitting for 30 minutes here. You put the lid on and you put it in the fridge for probably a day. Leave it for a good 12 hours at least, and then they're ready to eat. They're delicious. They're that easy. So I've got 2 jars. Got this little one. I got that little one. And my beautiful $4 jar from the thrift shop, which it's got the beautiful lid. It's got a really good seal. So I'll leave them to sit here for 30 minutes and then I'll show you when I've bottled them up completely, put the lids on. Alright, okay, 30 minutes is up and I've let it cool down. Now what you need to do at this stage is get your wooden spoon and use the handle to push it down a little bit. So thing is pushing the solution down. So it's all covered. You could probably at this point really give it a little, I'm not too fussy about it. Most people are. Just wipe your surface of your jar. I mean, look at that colour. Look at the colour in that. Isn't it just gorgeous? And now what you would do is put it in your fridge, let it cool down. You might be able to have it that evening if you make it early enough in the morning. But I usually like to wait at least a good 12 hours. But it's just stunning. And that'll go very pink because of the red onion. That's what I like about this new jar that I brought. It's just going to look stunning. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Actually, before I put it away, shall we try some? Let's just try some. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's what you want it to taste like. Just right. Don't want it too salty and you don't want it too sweet. Okay, I've put my lid on the jar. Such a gorgeous jar. And what a beautiful one for pickling. Look at that. All the colours. Just beautiful, people. Absolutely stunning. So there you go. All done. When thrifting got pickled. How beautiful is that though? Isn't that stunning? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you give it a try. It's a lovely, sweet little recipe that you can have when you know you've got guests coming to stay and you want to have little side dishes to have with your lunches or your dinners. So do enjoy this one. It's a really, the juniper berries really do help it. Takes it to the next level. All right, do take care. Much love and many blessings to you all. Bye for now.